Come on in. Come on in. Let's go. I gotta see if. Hey, what's up, Jack? Wait for a couple of more people to get up in here before I start talking. I don't really need no big crowd in order to talk. I'm gonna go off regardless. So a couple of more people get up in here, and I'm gonna go off. I'm just talk. I'm doing pretty good, man. It's Friday night. After this, I'm gonna watch that NBA play-in tournament, and then just enjoy the rest of my Friday evening and weekend too. In the chat box. If you have any questions, make sure you put them in the chat box. Any questions that anyone has, make sure you put them in the chat box. But I'm glad that you're doing good, Jax. I'm glad that you're doing good. It's always good to see people, doing good. So I'm appreciative of that and hearing that. Definitely. So I'm gonna wait till I said good, maybe a handful of people get up in here, and then I'll just start talking then with a handful of people in here. Like I said, I don't need a lot of people in here to really have these chats. These chats is just the opportunity for me to get to know my subscribers and pour into my subscribers and do it like that. But just waiting for more people to come in. Uh, but I got an interesting story to share in regards to my journey that I'm gonna share on this live. So I'm make sure that I share it on this live as far as my journey is concerned. So I'm looking forward to that. As far as this live, I should have posted. They wouldn't let me do a countdown for some reason when it came to the live, and I got to figure out how to do a countdown. That way, people will know that I am coming live. So once I figure that out, I'll be good. But for now, I got to figure out how to do that. I'm gonna ask Caesar because Caesar he's a pro with this so far. So I'm gonna ask Caesar and see what he says about it. But I'm just happy to be up here going live again. This Friday, I had a good Friday. I had a decent week. I hope you all had a decent week as well. How was your week, Jax? I gotta figure out how to and I'm gonna start adding moderators tonight too, just for the future. For whenever we decide to go live in the future, I'm gonna make sure I have some moderators. So that'll be something else that I do as well. But I want to talk. I want to talk about certain things, and that's what I'm gonna do. So we'll see. Starting poll. It's good to hear your week was good, Jax. It's good to hear your week was good, man. Hey, what's up, Steven? How you doing, man? Oh yeah, someone made a comment the other day, and I finally get what they were saying. They were saying that they can't hear the replies of the people that leave messages in the chat. And that's understandable because you're just writing in the chat. So if you do want to see everyone's reaction and what I'm responding to when I'm on these videos, you have to make sure that you watch back the live chat playback. That's how you're gonna be able to see what people in the chat are saying. Because of course they're not mic'd up, so they don't have a mic, and they're not gonna come in here mic'd up with a mic. You have to watch the chat in order to know what questions they're asking and what I'm responding to. Hey, what's going on? Two equals one. How are you? But yeah, that's the main thing, to just pay attention and follow along with the chat, because you're definitely not gonna hear anyone talking outside of me. Now, I'm gonna set it up. Once I start getting enough people in these lives, I'm gonna set it up where people could come up in here and talk and ask questions and share advice. I'm not some egotistical person that be like, hey, no one else could come up here and share credit advice. If you got credit knowledge, you got experiences, feel free to share them, because it could always help people out. So that's important to me. As long as you got experiences that you can share, I don't care which stage of this credit card thing or FICO credit score thing that you're at, you can share your experiences. And I guarantee you, there'll be at least one person that'll be able to, relate to what you're talking about. Because at the end of the day, everyone is on a similar journey. We all have to eventually manage our credit scores. And most of the people who do follow me and come by the channel, they do have credit cards. I can tell, and I know that from the polls that I do and from the posts. So whatever knowledge you have, if someone asks questions in the chat, don't refrain from answering. Make sure you answer, because like I said, this is more of a community thing. It's not just about me, it's about you all as well. And it's also an opportunity for us all to get to know each other. So don't refrain, don't hold back. If people ask questions, you also can answer as well. So that's what type of vibe I want to have over here. I don't want it to be like I'm the only one talking. Yeah, great credit, and you're only 20. Hey, what's going on, Arliss? How are you? Hey, Arliss, that's good, man. That's very good. You're only 20, so you're doing pretty good. That's a great place to be. 20 years old with great credit. That's a good thing, man. That's research. Yeah, that's the key. Research is so important. I always tell people that. Like a lot of people, they always think just because I'm on YouTube giving credit advice, or other people on YouTube giving credit advice, that that's the end all be all. I always tell people, like, research what I say. That's why I feel confident in what I say on here, because I'm like, hey, go research and verify what I say. That's important. Make sure that you are able to verify. I don't care if it's my videos, anybody videos, or anywhere on social media or on the internet or wherever. Make sure you're able to verify the information with multiple sources, not just one, but multiple. And guess who's usually the best place to get information from? Is either the three major credit bureaus, or is the credit card companies. I love asking the credit card companies questions regarding credit cards. They always answer them. They always answer them, especially Discover. It's like they take pride in answering your questions. So a lot of times when you all come by and you want to ask information, you want to ask questions, the information is really at the palm of your hand, because you could ask. You could ask Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, Discover, American Express. All of these people, if you ask them specifically, all of these companies are going to answer your questions. So you want to make sure you use that opportunity, especially if you're a car holder with them. And even if you're not, they'll be amped up to answer your question, because they want to make you a car holder. So make sure you do that. Yeah, Jex, that's true. Experian has great information. Great information. I love going on Experian, especially their blogs. Their blogs, they have so much good information on there. And I always refer people to them. Always. Always. Hey Steven, what city are you in? You said you out west, right? Hey, what's going on, Jesse? Yeah, they did. But I just want to talk about hey, what's going on, Clauzel? It's good to see you up in here, man. It's good to see a lot of y'all back up here. I appreciate you all, Jesse. Honestly, this I always said, I know some people don't believe me when I said, but I get on here and make these videos for you all. I'm monetized, but I don't make a lot of money on here. It's not like I do YouTube for a living. I get on here for y'all to share information with you all, and that's the key. So I appreciate you all as well. It's not just a one-sided thing. I definitely appreciate you all. The fact that 20 people are even here right now, I'm appreciative of. Like I said the other day when I was on this live, I said whether it's two people, three, four, five, how many ever, I'm grateful for. So I'm happy that you are here. Okay, Youngstown, Ohio. Cool. Nice. Nice. Any advice for college kids for their first credit card? College kids, they kind of got it they could go either way because credit card companies, they usually are more lenient with college kids. So college kids, they're usually able to start off with credit cards in a way that someone who's a little older and decided that they want to finally build up their credit score, or finally build up their credit report from maybe getting in trouble prior. So they could go a lot of routes. They could either go the secured credit card route if they don't really have a credit score, or they could go for a regular no annual fee card. They really got that option by being in college, because these credit card companies, they love college kids because they believe the college kids are gonna be spending, getting hit over the head with that interest. But in reality, if a college kid knows what they're doing and they're managing their cards the correct way, and they build up their credit score and their credit report, they'll be set. So that's a perfect time right there. Being a college kid and building up your credit score. If anyone is a college kid, I don't have a lot of college kids that come by and watch my channel. And that's just the reality, because a lot of them, they're not really into it that early on, that 18 to 22 range. But at that age, if they really research, learn how to manage your credit card the correct way, learn about credit scoring, they'll be set for life. Because you figuring, if they're 18, 19, by the time they get 30, they got 10 plus years of credit history. So that 10 plus years of credit history is going to look good on their credit report, especially if they're managing it the right way. So that's big for someone who's young, you know. Jesse said you learned a lot and applied the information. That's good. Congrats on that, Jesse. That's big. It's good to see those increases. That's what's most important. That's what's most important, those increases. I'm working towards business credit. Hey, Steven, that's a good thing. I started working on my business credit after I did my personal credit. And it's a beautiful thing when you really have your personal credit built up, and then you transition on to business credit and build that up as well. So salute to you for that, Steven. Christelle, I appreciate you too. I appreciate you all. I appreciate everyone in here right now, all 19 of you. I'm telling you, I do. I appreciate everybody coming by. Yeah, that's big for Jesse, especially being young. I'm telling you, when you look up and you're 30 plus and you got all that credit age, you really gonna appreciate what you did during this time, being young and taking advantage of it. So that's big. What's your what's everyone's favorite credit card right now? Me personally, my favorite credit card right now is the Amex Gold. And I made a video like that about it, about 2 weeks ago. And it's the Amex Gold because where we're at right now with the economy. You all know, you go to the grocery store, you see how expensive groceries are. You go If you go to a restaurant, the food prices are up. So those are the two main categories that you get the most out of that card. I always tell people with the Amex Gold, during a time like this where the economy is a little funny and the prices are a little funny, you could get points quick. Like, I mean, super quick, because you're going to spend that money regardless. It's not like you're forcing yourself to spend. I don't like when people force themselves to spend with credit cards, because for the most part, you don't have to. If you're an adult and you have expenses that you have to do, that you have to take care of on a week to week basis, then the card is going to work for you, you know? So food and groceries you're gonna usually get anyways. That's based on survival. So those 4 times points with the Amex Gold, it's coming in clutch for right now. So it all depends on where you at. Yeah, that's true, Jax. Playing the game late, that's big, because that's what I started. I started out late. I was playing around. In 2006, I was young, but I was playing around. I was happy to have a credit card. I had the Best Buy card back in 2006, and they gave me a $300 limit. I thought I was the man back there. And I'm like, yeah, I got a credit card. And I was just maxing it out. I paid off in like a span of 7 to 8 months, not knowing what I'm doing. And then I max it out again. That's what I was doing. But if I knew what I knew now back then, it would have helped so much. But you live and you learn. I got started late. A lot of people get started late. So I can't go back in the past and undo it. So, I'm doing good now with it. So that's all that matters to me. So you're right about that, Jex. Fair. I like the Amex Reserve too. I like the Amex Reserve. Artless. I like the I've been hearing about Saver One. I don't have that card, but I always hear good things about it from the people that do have it. Someone was in the chat last week and they were talking about that card. Was that you, or it was someone else? Hey, what's going on, Terrence? Terrence, is that like the secure Discover card or the regular cashback card? Yes, Stephen. I always hear about the Navy Federal credit limits. I can't get Navy Federal. I was telling Sledge, I was like, man, I regret that I can't get it. But for those of you who do have access to it, take advantage of it, because I always hear everyone who I know with Navy Federal, with a Navy Federal card, they all have a high limit. So if you have access to that, make sure you are taking advantage of it. Regular cashback. Okay. Yeah, I like the regular cashback one. I got that one too. I like them 5% categories. Do you ever, Terrence, do you ever do the no hard inquiry credit limit increase? Because that's like the main thing, one of the main benefits with that Discover card is the no annual, not no annual fee, no hard inquiry credit limit increase. That one right there is big. I I'm telling you, it was a span over a couple of years where I used to just chop up my credit limit like constantly. And then it got to the point where they was like, nah, you got to stop doing it. But I kept doing it, and my credit limit was just going higher and higher and higher. So I love that. The fact that you get no hard inquiry and you can get that credit limit increase. There are so many benefits to these credit cards if you are able to take advantage of it. Between that no hard inquiry credit limit increase with Discover, to the fact that if you build a rapport with American Express, whenever you apply for a new credit card, you don't get hit with a hard inquiry. So I always tell people, like I told you all on here a couple of weeks ago, I haven't got a hard inquiry with American Express since like 2017. And that was the first time I signed up for the everyday card. And since then, I've been getting cards and I haven't got a hard inquiry. So that's big. Build that rapport up. Arliss, Arliss asks, how many credit cards would I recommend someone have? And Arliss, I'm gonna tell you, like I tell everyone, that's all subjective. It's case by case. It all depends on how many you can manage. That's the main important thing. Your lifestyle. You know, what do you do? Are you someone who travels a lot? Are you someone who does a lot of spending? You know, it all depends on those things. And what type of cars you're looking to get. Are you looking to get premium, annual fee, no annual fee? So it all depends on you. I could just sit here easily and be like, yeah, you need 5 cars, but everyone is different, you know. If you're someone who doesn't travel a lot and doesn't spend a lot of money, why would you have 5 cars? That would be foolish to tell you you need 5 cars. So it's all up to you, honestly. I think people should have more than one. That's just my personal opinion on it. I think people should have more than one credit card just to give them, you know, a little bit of variety as far as rewards and things like that go. But I don't have really a set limit on how many I think they should have. It's all up to you and how many that you can manage. Um, it's strictly up to you. Like Jack said he only have one, and that's all he needs. Some people they you could get by on that, you know. So it's all depending on you. I don't have a specific number. I'm not gonna say like, oh, you need 5 or you need 4 or something like that. I got a video coming out tomorrow where I talk about that, you know, because that's like a big myth right now. A lot of people think, you know, even someone came by my channel the other day and left a comment and they was like, hey, you need 5 credit cards for your FICO credit score. And you don't. You don't need, I don't know where that come from or who put that out on the internet where people are regurgitating and repeating it. But you definitely don't need 5 credit cards in order to have a good or excellent FICO credit score. You could get by with one, you could get by with two. Like I said, I think two for variety, at least two. Jack said he got one. That's good. So it all depends. Like I said, it's case by case, and it's all depending on what you're comfortable with and what works well for your lifestyle. That's it. Yeah, that's a good strategy, Steven, to pay off and use keep your balance low. How do you apply for a credit limit? Jesse, which credit card company are you referring to? Because that's depending on the credit card company. If you're not with a credit card company or quote unquote bank, because that's what they are, if you're not with one that doesn't hit you off with a hard inquiry, then it'll be hard to do. Like with Chase, they're gonna do it. They're gonna hit you with a hard inquiry. It's a couple of them that's gonna hit you with a hard inquiry. So it all depends on who you're with. But yeah, that's good information, Jax. It does vary, like I said, it varies from person to person, and it all depends on your lifestyle and where you're at. So, hey, yeah, three should be good for you, Arliss. Like if that's what you're comfortable with, if you're comfortable with 3 cards, that should be good for you. Yeah, auto increases are good. Auto increases that's usually sparked by your spending too. So if you're someone who does a lot of spending, those auto increases will actually usually come into play. But if you're someone that you don't spend a lot because you're watching your utilization and keeping it low, then it's going to be hard for them auto increases to come about. But when people are spending and they putting a lot of money on their card, that's what usually sets off that auto increase. So okay, well, if you Jesse, if you got Discover does the especially cashback card. If you had a Discover cashback card, it's a spot on the Discover website when you go to the home page. I'm on the live right now, so I can't walk you through right now on the live, but if you go to the home page, there is a section on there where you scroll down After you click on the link, you scroll down and it says credit limit increase. You can always ask their customer service, and they'll refer you to where you go. But it's pretty simple, and you fill out your information, and they'll let you know whether or not you're improved. I believe it's within 30 seconds. They usually let you know pretty quick. They didn't let me do it. They don't let me do it no anymore. I think I got too many increases out of them. But for those of you who really haven't got many increases from them, it's always a good idea, especially when you don't get hit with a higher inquiry. Now they do take it to another level where they'll say, "Hey, you know, we need more information on you." That's when they'll do the hard inquiry. And if it gets to that level, I just deny it. I'll be like, nah, I'm not doing that. Steven got 12 cards. Nice. Nice, Steven. Yeah, 12 cars. That's a good variety right there. Steven, are some of those business or those all personal? That auto increases, it all varies. It varies on your income, varies on your spending, your credit report. It's so many things that go into that. So I can't really say that 30% of your limit will do it, because those other things factor in too, like your income. Because they got to know that you have the income to be able to do the spending, because they'll be a little cautious, not a little, but they'll be cautious in regards to you doing spending, especially if you don't have the income, because they're like, hey, why would I give them a credit limit increase if they don't really have the income? They're not going to pay us. So these banks, they want money from you, but they're also smart into determining whether or not they'll get their money back. Do you think Amex Platinum is worth the annual fee? Yeah, I do. It all depends, though. That's another thing that's subjective. It all depends on whether or not you're a traveler. If you're not a traveler, then you may want to, you may not want to consider it. It all depends on if you're a traveler, because most of their benefits for it come in regards to travel, unless you want that $50 tax credit every 6 months. Maybe you want that, or maybe you want the $15 Uber credit for 11 months and $20 for December. But you could do that as far as $10 a month with the gold card. So it all depends on your lifestyle, whether or not you like to travel. If you're a traveler, it's worth the annual fee. But if not, they have other cards that you could consider instead of that gold, because I mean instead of the platinum, because honestly, that platinum card annual fee, some people may not think it is, but it's going to rise again. Because I remember when the annual fee for the platinum card was what? I think it was four something at one point in time. Then it went to 550. Then it went to 695. Please believe it's going to hit the eight soon. It's going to do it. It's almost inevitable, especially with the way how the economy is. Hey, what's going on, Joel? Heading to Disneyland and Hollywood for our vacation next month. I just like to use for day dinner. Which card are you gonna use, Joe? Which card are you considering using? But that's nice, man. Yeah, Steven, you're in a pretty good position with those 12 cards. I know you mentioned business credit cards, but you definitely in a good position. Discovering Bank of America. Nice. I got both of those cards, so that's good. That's good. Your thoughts? Both have zero balances. Now, Joe, I'm only gonna give my subjective opinion on what I would do, but it's all up to you. I don't know your financial situation, but if I'm using my cards for birthday dinner and things like that, I'm making sure that I'm able to pay it off when I get my statement, So long as you could cover that, you should be good. The Discover card probably is going to give you more of an advantage over that Bank of America. I had a Bank of America and it really doesn't do much for me, but I do get a lot, I do get decent cash back from Discover. It depends on where that 5% category currently is on your trip too, because that matters. But yeah, Jax, that's good idea as far as saving the money and then using the card. I don't like people going out and spending money that they don't have with these credit cards. I know that seems to be something that people love to do, but always try to at least treat your credit card similar to what it would be with a debit card. Like me, if I know I don't have the money to spend, I'm not going to go out and use my credit card. I'm not. I'm going to play it the smart way. So, as long as you have the money to pay it off, then use your credit card. It's an advantage. But if you don't, you want to be cautious of that because you don't want to dig yourself into a hole. I'm never going to come on here and tell people to dig themselves in a financial hole just to use credit cards. So you want to be smart with that. But that's nice. That's nice, Joel. That's real nice. I gotta make it out to Disneyland. I've been to Disney World before in Orlando, but I've never been to Disneyland out in Cali, and I got to get out there. Hey, Pipeline, welcome back, man. Welcome back. I remember you from last week. I'm currently using it. Yeah, 15 months. Versus, hey, that 15 months APR, that's a nice benefit. A nice benefit. Because it's hard to find a good credit card where you could carry those balances. Like I try to teach people not to really carry a balance too much. That's the only time where I say it's cool to carry a balance when you had those 0% APR promotional periods, and especially if you are able and you'll be able to pay back whatever you spent during that 15-month period. Those come in clutch right there. That's good advice, Joe. That's good advice, Jax. Ignore the credit limit. That's true. Yep, treat it like your bank account. Treat it like a debit card. How you would your debit card. Hey, Joe, if you plan on paying it off within 30 days, then go for it. That's your call. Like I said, all of this is your call. I'm just saying what I would do, but it's your call. And if you're able to pay it off, then go with what you feel is best. If you're able to pay it off, you should be good. I wouldn't tell anyone to go and spend money that they know they won't be able to pay it off. But if you're able to pay it off, then hey, treat your wife nice. You know, go and spend the money and pay it off, and then you could build your funds back up once you pay it off. But if you were to say, you'll pay it back down the line, I would tell you no, honestly. I really would be on this live and tell you no if you said you was gonna pay it off months down the line. But 30 days, that's good, you know. Hey Arliss, what's your overall opinion on that Saver One card? Like, how do you feel it is? What grade would you give it? What would you rank it out of five? Like, would you give it a one, two, three, four, or a five? Because not a lot of people talk about that Saver One. So I want to know what's your personal opinion on that card, Arliss, as far as what you've been getting out of it. Because I don't know much about it, and I don't like to talk about cards or review cards that I don't have because that doesn't benefit you all. If I just go to Capital One and read off the benefits of a card, that's playing you all. You know, I like to talk about cards that I have. So, and I like to hear about cards that other people have from them. I don't know, Jesse. I don't know much about the Acorns app. I don't. So I really, if anyone in the chat know anything about it, I'm sure they'll feel free to answer it, but I don't know much about it. eight $8,000 limit. My- Hey, congrats on that pipeline. That's congrats. That's a good limit. That's a good limit, man. You doing pretty good right now. Congrats on that. Hey, Arliss, I hope you were able to hear my question that I have for you in regards to the Saver One. Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. It's like a three. The card gives a decent amount of cash back, but also the groceries doesn't work in Walmart. They don't treat. Oh, okay. I see. I can see. So Arliss, for those of you who may not be able to see the chat, Arliss gives the Saver One card a 3 out of 5. And that's an average rating, so that's cool. Hey, if you it's 22 people in here, so if you're in here, be sure to hit the like button for the algorithm. The algorithm on YouTube is a little funny, especially towards smaller channels. So hit the like button whenever you get the chance because that's important for these videos as far as getting it put out there. Jesse, you got a 17K limit. Nice. Is that your preferred airline, Jesse? The United? My preferred airline is Delta. I think I'm too loyal to Delta, honestly. I'm starting to feel that way. I've been flying Delta forever. And I'm starting to think I'm too loyal because, I feel as though I need to test out some of the other airlines, maybe United, maybe some of the other ones, but Delta, they've been getting all of my business as far as flights are concerned. So we'll see going forward. In the short future, I'm still going to fly Delta, but I may want to expand because Delta been a little funny lately. So I will say that. But yeah, that definitely hit the like button. I appreciate all of you. Okay, okay, pipeline. You'll never use more than $500. Cool, cool. Hey, shout out to you, Jr. Shout out to you. Welcome to the chat. I appreciate every single one of you being here. I really do. I'm telling you, I appreciate everyone who's laying eyes on this chat right now. Whether you're participating in the chat or whatever it is, if you're watching this live, I appreciate you for showing up. Whether it's 2 people, 10, 20, whatever it is. What are my thoughts on Chase Freedom and Chase Sapphire? I got the Chase Freedom Flex. Um, if you've been a subscriber of this channel for a while, you'll know I have like a love-hate relationship with the Chase Freedom Flex. When I first started off, the Chase Freedom Flex was my first card with Chase. And when I got that too hard, when I got hit with the too hard inquiries from first applying, I was heated. And then I saw what they did with my credit limit. They gave me the lowest credit limit out of all of my credit cards. And I was like, man, I got decent income. I got a 800 credit score. What's up with this credit limit? And other people told me they was like, well, that's normally how Chase does when you're a new customer to them. So I had a love hate relationship with them. Initially, I started off not liking them, but yeah, I began to grow with them, and they're one of my favorite credit cards right now. When it comes to the Chase Freedom Flex, I don't have the Freedom, so I can't comment on it, but I do have the Chase Freedom Flex and the Sapphire. That's a good card too, so you get a lot out of that one. Hey, Betty, what's up? It's good to see you, Betty. It's good to see you. Betty is one of my favorite subscribers because she literally has supported what just about every video that I put out. So shout out to Betty. Hey Betty, where are you at? Where are you located? I know you said you're across the country, but where are you at across the country? Who else uses M1 Finance? Yeah, I don't know much about M1 Finance. Yeah, that's true. 21 needs 21 likes. That's true. I appreciate that, JR. Yeah, hit the like button if you're watching. If you're in the chat right now, hit the like button. It's allegedly stocks. Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, you're in Seattle. All right, cool, buddy. Yeah, Seattle. I've been hearing good things. Hey, what's going on, Professor X? What's going on? Yeah, that's good that you got good limits with them. See, I think that matters when it comes to chase two equals because when you already have that relationship with them and that rapport with them, they they're probably more willing to give you a good credit limit. So that's good. That's something that people should pay attention to. When it comes to these credit card companies, if they're familiar with you and they're familiar with your spending, they're familiar with your income and your credit report and things like that, they're usually more lenient when it comes to you. So, like I stated, that was my first time applying with Chase. So they were like, but now my relationship with them is good. My credit limit on the cards that I get with them now is good. So I guess I had to build that rapport with them. I appreciate you, Betty. I appreciate you, and I'm glad that I was able to help you. I appreciate your continued support. Trust me, I do. Definitely. Yeah, Arliss Chase is pretty good. I like Chase so far. I don't put it necessarily over Discover and American Express, but I definitely like Chase. And plus, Chase opens you up to a lot. They have some great business cards, so I think everyone should consider, getting opened up to Chase Network, and that'll help you out whether you have a business or you want to do it from a banking standpoint or you want one of their cards. I think that'll be big. But it's always important to build a rapport with these credit card companies. It's so important. That helps you out a lot. Especially, you can't just think short term when it comes to these credit cards. You got to think long term too. So building that rapport helps long term. Long term. Amex Platinum sub changes. The 8,000 spend is almost up there. Yeah, MX Platinum. I was just mentioning it. Like, things been a little funny with them lately. Honestly, Pipeline, I feel like that annual fee increase is coming soon, very soon, like in probably in a couple of months soon. When they change the annual fee on the American Express Gold Business Card, I'm like, it's coming soon for that Platinum card. I already know. Sooner than later, they're gonna change that annual fee for it. U.S. Bank Attitude Reserve. Oh, so we got a lot of people out west. We got Seattle and Oregon, so that's cool. I'm glad that I helped you, Joe. I'm glad that I helped you. The Apple card, I always wanted nice. Just curious, do you have to get a credit card with this in a checking account? Professor X, no, you don't. You don't have to get a credit card with them. They're a bank, so you could go and you could open up a checking account with them if you qualify because they're a bank first. So you could see if you qualify for the checking account, and then what you say you tried to get in a checking account happen. Hey, Professor X, did you ask them the reason why they denied you? Because normally they let you know why they denied you. So find out from them why they denied you for the checking account. Hey, what's going on, Justin? Yeah, it's good to see you here, man. I appreciate you all for showing up. Oh, okay. Arliss out there too. Nice. We got a lot of people out west. That's cool. All right. JR's in Western Pennsylvania. Jex is out there in Connecticut, Rhode Island area. Cool. Yeah, they gonna. I'm telling you, Jesse, they're gonna keep increasing those annual fees. It's a funny time, man. It is, and what I mean by funny, I don't mean in a good way, but it's a funny time with these credit cards and these credit card companies because of what the economy is doing. Hey, GC, shout out to Fort Worth. Nice. I like Fort Worth. I definitely like Fort Worth. I'm gonna be going out there again soon. I did a lounge review on the Delta Sky Club at Fort Worth Airport and the Amex Lounge at Fort Worth Airport. I did a review on both of them. I kind of pit them against each other to see which one was better. And the Delta Sky Club came out on top. A lot of people they were saying, "Hey, it's the Amex one that was better." But when I went, the Delta Sky Club didn't have a lot of people in there, so I was a fan of the capacity and the fact that it was only like me and three, four other people in the lounge. So that was a benefit. 750 will be the new annual fee for the platinum. Many people. Yeah, I agree, JR. I think that's the main problem. Too many people are in these lounges. So with it being so many people in the Amex lounge and the Delta lounge, they're gonna have to do something about it. Unless what? They're gonna expand and make a bigger lounge. I doubt they do that. They just probably gonna cut down on the accessibility of their card, which they should have been doing in the first place, but I guess they wanted more money. So now they're stuck with that problem with their lounges being, packed to capacity. So they have to deal with that because, of course, you figure their Centurion car holders, which is the black car holders, they're probably complaining. They like, hey, I spent all this money in the annual fee and I can't even find a place to sit in the lounge. What's going on? Uh Pipeline, I'm not sure how high it'll go. I'm thinking it'll go in the eights. JR says 750. I'm thinking it is gonna go to the eights, maybe like around that 850, I think, but it's anywhere between that 750 and that nine, anywhere between there. They've been consistently doing it. It seemed like every other 2 years, they've been consistently raising it. Yeah, the black card holders, I know they're mad. So what they might end up having to do is like I was watching Axebi video, and the Centurion card holders, he was over in, I believe, Hong Kong, and they had their own lounge over there for the Centurion holders. They had their own part of the Amex lounge. They might have to do that here in the US because Amex, they'll be in trouble if they start losing those Centurion card holders because the black card holders, that annual fee, that's the top of the top. So they're gonna do whatever they could to keep them. And they need to, because if not, this is gonna be an ugly problem. Me personally, and I did a video about this, I think too many people have access to the Amex Platinum, and I feel like Amex is starting to realize that as well. But it's gonna be some changes coming to it. It's definitely gonna be some changes. So we'll see. Be looking out for it. Add a high end card between. That's been a talk, JR. That's been a talk about them adding a card between the black card and the platinum. But I'm just wondering, what would they call it? What would it be? The diamond card? Like, what would it be if they're gonna add a middle card between the black card and the platinum card? It would have to be what, a diamond card. I'm assuming. Who knows what they'll call it? Yeah, Clausel, 895. That's around me. I think anywhere between that 850, 895. Hopefully it's 850 or less, but I can't really trust them. So I don't know what they'll have it. Yeah. Yeah, I believe you, JR, because I've been saying that. I believe you. I believe you. I've been saying I have a feeling it's a middle card coming. They're gonna have to do something. They have to, because the lounges are too packed. I remember I went to the lounge in Dallas. I could barely find somewhere to sit. I'm like, what in the world? Like, I literally had to wait for someone to get up in order to sit in the Amex lounge in Dallas, in the Fort Worth one. And I could just imagine if I was a black card holder and that was the case. That's enough to make you heat it. And I understand them changing it where you can't get in the lounge now with visitors unless you pay a certain amount of stuff like that. I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference, honestly. Over 850 and you out, and you in the airport 30 times a year. Yeah, you a traveler, JR. I feel you though. That's understandable. If it's over 850, you out. I think a lot of people feel like that as well. I think a lot of people definitely feel like that, honestly, because they keep raising that fee. What are they gonna do? They would have to offer a lot in terms of the benefits. And right now, the benefits they're cool, but I feel like they could add more to the benefits and they could remove some of the benefits, like that Equinox credit. A lot of people live in places where they can't benefit from that. So we'll see. Fair, yeah, that's a good thing. They better do that. Reserve tables and spaces for the black card holders. They better, because that's the last group of people that Amex want to lose, especially over lounges. So, but I'm curious to see these next couple of years of what's going to happen between Delta and Amex and these lounges, because these lounges are ridiculous. Like, ever since the pandemic, these past couple of years, it's ridiculous. Like, you literally have to wait in a lot of airports to sit down. I went to my last trip was to JFK. The Amex lounge was cool there. I believe that's one of the best lounges, airport lounges around. I enjoyed myself at the Amex one in JFK. But the Delta lounge, which is much bigger, it was so many people in there. I could barely find a seat. I didn't enjoy it at all. So many people. Yeah, the city strata card. Hey, I don't know much about that one, Pipeline. I don't I Like I stated, I don't really talk about cars that I don't know much about over here, just to be fair to you all, but I gotta look into that one. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens with the Amex lounge. Very curious. But I appreciate all of you for coming through. I'm gonna I'm gonna give out some wrenches. I'm gonna give out some moderator wrenches, and especially to those of you who've been coming through. So hold on one second. Hold up. But yeah, hey, write it right in the chat. What's your current favorite credit card that you have? Let me know what your current favorite credit card is, because I'm trying to figure out, the people who are in here, what type of card is your main card that you're enjoying. Amex Platinum first, Apple second, Venture X, Amex Reserve Platinum. No problem, Jax. I appreciate you all coming by. Uh, the more I see people in here on a consistent basis, I'm gonna keep giving out these wrenches for moderators. So the more I see you all, and I get familiar with you all, then I'll feel comfortable with giving out that wrench. But Jaxie, he's been here just about from the beginning, him and Steven. Hey, that's good, Justin. That's a good way to start with the Discover student card. So it's good to start off there. It's good to start there. Yeah, I see that, JR. I'm happy about that. 22 watching, 22 likes. So that's good. That's good. But I see a lot of Amex. Does anyone here have Navy Federal? Any of you have Navy Federal? Oh, okay. Steven got Navy Federal. Cool. Steven, you got all them credit cards, man. Steven got a lot of credit cards, so that's good. Jr. You not a fan of Navy Federal? Clausel, okay. Clausel got a Navy Federal too. Shout out to Clausel. Navy Federal and Discover. Oh, so a lot of people do have Navy Federals. That's cool. AJR, why don't you like Navy Federal? I don't have Navy Federal, so I don't have an opinion on it. But why you not a fan of Navy Federal, JR? Discover, Apple, Best Buy. Okay, Amex is next goal. Yeah, once you get with Amex, Joel, be sure to build up that rapport with him. Once you do that, it opens up so many doors. And Discover, they have more. I mean, not Discover, Amex. They have more than credit cards. They don't just have credit cards. They have business accounts that you have access to. They have high yield savings accounts. They have personal loan. It's so much stuff because, like I said, these are banks. So building up that rapport is so important. So make sure you all build up that rapport. Chase and Discover. I'm always going to rep for Discover. They gave me my start. Other than that Best Buy card that I had in 2006, Discover gave me my start. And I've been rocking with them since 2015. So I'm always going to recommend people to Discover. Yeah, Joel, once you do that, I'm telling you, once you build that rapport, it's a beautiful thing. It opens up so many doors for you. And I would advise all of you to do that, no matter if it's with Amex, if it's with Discover, if it's with Chase, whichever bank you are with, build that rapport up. You build that rapport and watch it open up so many doors for you. But you got to get your foot in first. And that's always the key. You don't got to start off with 5 and 10 cards and stuff like that. Just get your foot in the door. Discover was the only one that approved me. Yeah, their customer service is top notch. Any question I ever have for Discover, they answer it. Any question. They always come through and answer it. So I appreciate them. Always. Always. I that's the one credit card company, the bank, that I recommend everyone, just start off with if you can. And if you don't have it, you may want to consider because Discover their customer service is great. I never had a problem with their customer service, never. And I've been with them since 2015. That's almost 10 years. And the customer service has been great. I'm happy. I'm just happy to see you all in here, even though it's 21 people. So it's a blessing to me to see you all. So I'm a big fan of seeing you all. Of course, my MacBook, if I stick up my hand, it's gonna stick up the if I stick up the thumb, it's gonna stick up the thumb too, which is funny. But it's good to see you all. Arla said you recommend getting a credit card with a credit union. That's also a good idea too. Building that rapport with a credit union because whether it's a home loan or auto loan, it's always good to go with them. Two equals. I just started going live last week. Last Friday was my first live. Then I came back and doubled back on Saturday. So this is the second week of going live. So I'm gonna try to make this a every Friday thing. So my next time going live would be next Friday at 7 p.m. Depending on the type of crowd that I draw, I may do it every week, depending on what type of crowd that I draw. So it's all dependent on that, because after all, it is a Friday night. But if I draw a decent crowd, I'll continue to do it. Hey, good evening, Charlene. Welcome to the chat. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, Jesse, that's true. Amex, they do have good customer service as well. Hey, Pipeline, I'm always going to roll with Discover It Secured. I'm always going to recommend the Discover It Secured for people. I got a whole playlist on my channel dedicated to the Discover It Secured. So I'm always going to roll with them. Yeah, JR, I appreciate it that you were here last Friday. I appreciate all of you that have shown up and checked out these lives. I know people do have lives and they have families, and it is a Friday after all. You could be out, doing whatever, but I appreciate the fact that you all are here. That's big to me. So I appreciate it. Definitely. But yeah, that Discover is secure credit card. I'm always gonna hype that card up. I'm always gonna recommend it to people. It opened up so many doors for me, so many doors. I mean, it's ridiculous how many doors it opened up for me, and that's how I got my start. So I'm always gonna roll with that. I'm always gonna salute Discover. That Discover is secure. That's how I got my start. I can only share how I got my start, and that card did it. It opened up so many doors, and I see it opening up doors for some of you as well. So that's always a good thing. Chase is not easy to get. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely what I hear. That's definitely what I hear regarding Chase, that they're not easy to get. Yeah, I like the design of the Discover card too. I like the fact, that you could design your own Discover card. So that's also a good thing, you know. Hey, Charlene, I appreciate that. I appreciate that you were able to get to Discover. That's why I make those videos. I can only share how my journey. My journey may not be the same journey as the next person. Maybe you have a different journey than me, but I'm always going to recommend that Discover card because it opened up so many doors for me. And hopefully, if you're just starting out, Charlene, you and whoever else is watching, it'll open up a lot of doors for you as well. I'm really hoping that. That's important to just get your foot in the door, graduate your card, and then once you graduate, and your secure card is unsecured, it opens up a lot of doors for you. You can start looking at those other credit card companies and banks too. So that's a big thing. Chase always rejected you. Hey, you gotta stick with it, Jex, because it may open up for you in the future. Pipeline Chase gave me my start. I still don't. Yeah, Chase gave you a start. Now, Pipeline, have you tried to get with Amex or are you just waiting? Christelle said, agreed. Discover. Yeah, Discover is awesome, Christelle. It definitely is. Justin, go ahead. You got a question? You go ahead and ask. Yeah, 7 months. When I first started, they wasn't doing the 7 month graduation, Jax. You had to wait like 11. Mine graduated in 11 months. It wasn't no 7 month back then because when I started with the Discover Secured, it was a new thing. Like it was a totally new thing. You had to get rejected from the regular cashback card first, and then Discover sent you the invite to apply for the secure card. It was like their new thing, their new startup. So back then it was like 11 months, but now it's 7. So salute to y'all because 7 months, that's much better than 11. As a beginner, keeping a low utilization make you miss some of the advantages. What do you mean by that, Justin? Like, which advantages do you mean? You mean like the rewards, the benefits? Yeah, definitely, Betty. I'm definitely gonna come back Friday. Yeah, it can make you miss some of the keeping a low utilization can. It's a way to combat that. What some people do, I don't do it, but what some of my subscribers and people in general do is they'll go and they'll spend, whatever they need to spend in order to hit their rewards, in order to hit their minimum spend, whatever it is, and then they'll pay it off immediately. So they do that in order to combat against utilization and keep their utilization low. So that's how they go about doing it. So some people do it that way where they're able to still get their rewards and still get their benefits from the rewards, but also keep their utilization low. So it's a way to combat against that. But normally, if you do it the way I do it, where you're keeping your utilization under 10% for your whole statement, then yeah, sometimes you can. But I tell you what, I've been doing that since like 2015, and I haven't missed out on a reward or a minimum spend yet. And I keep my cards with a very low utilization, and I'm still able to hit my minimum spends and I'm still able to get all my rewards. So it all varies. Yeah, Jax, that's true. Like that's what a lot of people do. They pay it down before the closing date. Charlene, congrats to you on that. I'm telling you, credit card graduation is a beautiful thing. I remember when I first got my email telling me my card graduated, and I was like, man, it's real. Because as I stated back then in 2015, I know if it was real. It wasn't a lot of proof. It wasn't a lot of people going around saying, hey, I graduated Discover Secure Card. There was a blog, and it maybe was like 3, 4 people who were saying they graduated, but it was very few. But now you all have so much proof of people who actually graduated their secure card. So that should give you confidence. If anything gives you confidence, that should give you confidence to know that there are so many other people doing it. That should motivate you, and that should make you want to get after it, because it just knowing that it's possible and you have that proof, that should make you really want to get after it. I see pipeline. Yeah, you just gotta keep it going, man. You gotta keep going. Eventually, they're gonna crack and probably approve you for something. So maybe not in the present, but in the near future, hopefully they will. JR, yeah, charge cards, it's no credit card utilization with them. So and when it comes to business cards, but everyone doesn't have a business card. But yeah, for charge cards, is no credit card utilization because you don't have a credit limit. So you have a hidden limit, of course, but it's not visible as far as to the credit reporting agencies. Discover cashback. But yeah, Jex is giving you some good advice, Justin, because you want to especially if you're just building up your credit, starting out building up your credit report, you want to make sure that you are reporting something. You want to show the credit bureaus that you are at least doing some spending. So you want to make sure that you are reporting something. I always say that everyone, like I said, everyone has their own way of doing things. I can only give my advice on how I do it. Is other people that give their advice, which is cool. That's why I tell people everyone has different experiences. I appreciate you coming by, Joel. You have a good weekend, man. I'll see you. I'll be having a video releasing tomorrow, so be looking out for it tomorrow evening. And it's gonna be a good one on FICO credit scores. But I appreciate you stopping by, Joel. I really do. Enjoy your evening. Be safe, man. But yeah, make sure you stop by tomorrow and check out that video. Make sure, because it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. I'm not gonna say too much about what it's about, but it's gonna be a good one. What happens if you only have one charge card in it? Yeah, on your charge card, if you don't have a limit, it shouldn't be a utilization reported, because utilization is the percentage of your credit limit. So unless you're referring to your overall utilization as far as your full credit report, but if you're referring to that specific card, if it doesn't have a credit limit, it shouldn't be utilization. It'll tell you balance, of course, but it shouldn't be utilization because it would need to be a percentage of your credit limit. Yeah, that's true, Jax. Correct. So, are you pipeline? You referring to your full credit report, like overall, or are you referring to just a specific card? Yeah, Amex Gold. I love Amex Gold. Like I said, Steven, it's all dependent on what your credit report is. What's on your credit report that matters. Jay Ross said, experience seems to be the hardest. Yeah, it all varies. It all varies because J Raw experience gives me my highest credit report. I mean, my highest credit score. So it all depends. It all depends for experience, because that I'd be surprised. They have always given me my highest credit score. So it all depends. It varies person to person. Oh yeah, overall, yeah, definitely. It definitely contributes to that, because it definitely contributes to that, because overall your credit report gonna know how much you're spending on all your credit cards. So yeah, it contributes. It contributes on my credit report too, and I have them on there. I hate this little this little MacBook thing. I swear I do. but I'm about to get off of here. It was nice seeing you all come by. Next Friday, I'm gonna do it again. As far as every week, like I said, it's gonna be depending on how many people show up and actually participate. But I enjoyed you all being here. I enjoyed you all coming out. I got a video coming tomorrow, so be sure that you check out that video tomorrow. But I appreciate you all coming by. I really do. I'll see you all next Friday. All right. All right.